What are the two questions that you should ask yourself when facing a serious life crisis? I'm Dr. Nabil Fanous, a Canadian surgeon, a university teacher, and the author of this book, The Universal Rules of Life: 27 Secrets for Managing Time, Stress, and People. Today, I'll be talking to you about universal rule number 9. What's the worst case scenario? And what's the most probable one? I'd like to talk to you about what I call little storms. We are disturbed by all kinds of little problems that cause us a great deal of distress. For example, you spill wine on your new carpet, or you miss your flight. A few months later, all these calamities are gone and forgotten, like a little tempest in a little teapot. Therefore, it's useless to worry about useless things. Here is some precious advice. An insignificant problem is one you won't remember 6 months from now. Therefore, when you're faced with a mini crisis, ask yourself, will I remember it in 6 months? If the answer is no, forget it on the spot. Now I come to what I call big storms. We can sometimes face serious problems, like being diagnosed with a dangerous disease, or losing a job, or going through a divorce, or suffering a big investment loss. When faced in life with such big problems, put them on paper, like I said in Rule 8, and answer the following two questions. 1. What's the worst case scenario? And 2. What's the most probable scenario? You will be surprised to discover that the worst case scenario often isn't the end of the world. In addition, it's improbable. Similarly, the most probable scenario often isn't that bad at all. In addition, it's the one most likely to happen. And once you have both scenarios on paper, expect the probable, while realizing that you could still survive the improbable. Now I have a little true story for you, titled When Mango Went from Yucky to Yummy. Early in my career, I traveled with my wife to Thailand on the way to Japan for a conference. Our stay in Bangkok was at an exotic hotel, the Oriental. The food was delicious, especially the mango desserts. Mango is my favorite food, by the way. On our second day, my office manager called. Patricia, a patient who had a facelift 2 weeks earlier, was having sudden swelling and redness. I told my manager to refer her to the covering surgeon. But as I went down for breakfast, I started to worry. I lost my appetite, even for the mango juice. And as we went out to visit the magnificent Grand Palace, I simply couldn't enjoy it. Finally, I remembered my 2 questions formula, so I answered them on paper. Question 1. What's the worst thing that could happen to my patient? The answer: the worst possibility would be an abscess that could be drained through the original incision and usually heals well. Now question 2. What's the most probable outcome of Patricia's predicament? In all likelihood, Patricia will get better within a few days, since she has no fever or pain. As I looked at my 2 options on paper, I felt a fresh breeze washing over me. I was so relieved I ordered both a mango juice and dessert. It was mango galore. And by the way, Patricia recovered fully. Now I'd like to talk about an important point. There are some problems that are beyond serious, beyond sad. For example, if someone we love passes away, or if we are diagnosed with a very serious illness, or if we experience a profound calamity that can't be rectified. In all such situations, when the outcome is very grim, then, unfortunately, this formula isn't going to help. In other words, beyond sad is beyond any universal rules, but maybe not beyond God, if you are a believer. Now let me summarize the universal rule number 9 in a pearl shell. What's the worst case scenario? And what's the most probable one? Just follow the weather. For a little storm, ask yourself, will I remember it 6 months down the road? It's useless to worry about useless things. And for a big storm, ask yourself, what's the worst case scenario? Often it isn't the end of the world, and it's improbable. And what's the most probable scenario? Often it isn't that bad, and it's most likely to happen. That's it for universal rule number 9. If you liked it, please subscribe, share it, and put a like. And I will be seeing you soon with a very interesting question. What are the 4 best kept and indispensable secrets to achieving happiness? You want the answer? Check the bell, and I'll see you soon.